Hey, welcome to the channel today. I'm excited because we're going to work with Natalie Purvis, who is a 13-year-old top 10 amateur golfer here in Oklahoma, who's gone from 43rd to 10th with the single plane swing. So there's no better feeling knowing that when you wake up in the morning to go play golf, so that you're going to play well. So my mission today is to help as many people as possible wake up every day feeling good that they're going to go out there and play great because of the single plane swing. So the first thing I want to do before we get Natalie out here is let's take a look at her conventional swing. She's gone a long way in just 9 months with the single plane swing. So let's take a look. We're going to analyze her conventional swing, and we'll go meet her on the range. Okay, so you can see Natalie's conventional address position here. And I'm going to point out some stuff that is conventionally related, but very much will fix this as we see her move into a single plane swing. Obviously, her arms are somewhat hanging down, and she's on kind of a secondary plane here. So you get kind of a two-plane situation there, and her legs are kind of bent. And then from the face-on view, you see the lead foot is squared up, and then obviously there's a bend in her lead arm as well. So these are conventionally related. Much of this stuff we will naturally fix in the single plane swing, which will then simplify swing plane for her. I'm going to draw a yellow line arbitrarily on the plane here, and then we'll take her into the backswing. And you can see a beautiful plane position. She gets it on the plane, but good players do this from a conventional place. She takes it to the top. I consider this a little bit long, but it's not bad. Now you can see the club gets over the plane some, because see what happens is she gets leaned down again, so her body gets leaned down, and then the club is a bit above the plane. Now, here's where she's seeing back problems, because you can see that look at her leg actually lift. So if you're wondering why conventional golf can create back problems, see the push upwards right there of the lower body? So you see a push this direction with the lower body, and her upper body's going down. So you got one part going up, one part going down. There's compression there in the spine. Pretty normal to see that when you have a conventional motion there. So you see that compression there, and then there's rotation, which is shear. So that's why you see some pressure on the back. Believe it or not, some of it's being caused right here in the lead foot from the face-on view, because the foot has no rotation to it, it's blocking. See how her leg has to jam up? So that's pushing that upward motion into the pelvis, and then that stalls out the upper body, can't turn, and then she flips the club pretty early in here. And so what you see is, you see the body bracing itself from a bad position of the foot, a jamming of the pelvis, and then the hands flip early. So if you guys flip or release early, this is some of it right here. You can see an upward motion of the body. So this is all the stuff we're going to work on to get her out of that conventional, basically unnatural motion into a more natural movement. Hey, we're here with Natalie Purvis on the range today, and I'm excited to spend some time with her working on your single plane swing. So let me ask you a couple of questions before we get started. 9 months, right? You've been working on the single plane for 9 months.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me a little bit about your experience from changing from what we just saw, your conventional swing, and then over 9 months changing it.
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of very good changes. One of the biggest things that I've noticed, though, is just my shot being straighter. That's helped me a lot to lower my score. There's been some weird things in the beginning, and it was kind of tough, but just the more I practiced, it got a lot more comfortable. And I used to have back pains a lot, and part of the reason is because of how tall I am. It's kind of weird, but I feel better with this.
Yeah, you're pretty tall. How tall are you?
I'm 5'10", around there.
Yeah.
But I do feel better with this.
What do you think the hardest thing? So what we're going to do today is I'm going to spend some time with you, watch you hit a few, so we can just see where you're at. I like to kind of get a baseline of where you're at, and we're going to make some changes. One of the good things about us making changes right now is that you're in your off season, because when you started with the single plane swing, you took it right into competition, right? And I know how hard that is, by the way, making a swing change, then trying to beat people. But you've gone from ranked 43rd in Oklahoma to now in the top 10. You're 10th now?
Yeah.
All right, so you've gone from 43rd to 10th ranking in Oklahoma junior golf. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive in 9 months. That's incredible, really, with a single plane swing. So, all right, so let's first of all, what was if I had to ask you one question, what was the hardest thing to change? Because our guys want to hear that.
It was probably all just like the side bend. It was always kind of weird. And just making sure that I always did it because I would forget a lot.
Gotcha.
And just having the little things that were changed. But over time, after I did it, I really it's better now.
You
I got used
comfortable
to
with
it.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
It just takes getting comfortable with it,
Good.
I think.
Hit a couple. Let's take a look and see where your swing is, and we'll check it down the line. I'm going to grab my camera and get some video as well. What club is that?
Pitching wedge.
How far do you hit a pitching wedge?
Usually around 110.
So one of the things I want to do is get an idea of how you're patterning, just to see that what we're working on is getting the correct pattern. So you want to aim at the yellow flag, is that okay?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, I got you. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of things. And then what I'll do is I want to point out let's first point out the really good things in your swing. Then I want to make a couple adjustments to your setup. One of the things I'm seeing just with the wedge, and I'm sure if we got a little longer, and I'll probably want to hit a couple longer clubs here in a second, ball starting left, right? Has it done that for a while?
Yeah, it's been kind of like that
Kind of
lately.
a little pull. Okay, so one of the things to me that's very important about you kind of getting, and we got the off season so we can spend some time on this, getting to the next level is getting very consistent shot patterning, right? With your driver, and maybe I should watch you hit a few drivers too, but is that pulled also?
Not as much as my irons.
Well, let's do that first before I go too far. Let me watch you hit a couple drivers and see
Okay.
what happens. All right, go grab your driver. Yeah, same kind of pattern, right? Okay. All right, so let me just go through the really good things about her address, really good things about her swing real quickly. So go ahead and set up one more time. I want to point out a couple of things so people can see what we're doing here. All right, go ahead and get in your address position. So we're gonna work a little bit on this part of your swing, but coming down the line, you make a really nice alignment of the club and the arm. So go ahead and put the club back on the ground. We can see this nice alignment of the club going through the arm. She does a nice extension, and the lead arm is above the trail arm. I like how she keeps her legs nice and straight at address. She creates a nice, really nice geometry of her address position, and that side bend you were talking about, pretty good right here, right? Pretty good side bend. All right, so everything's good here. Come to the face on view, and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna work with you on. So this is actually pointing more towards your belly button. I'm gonna want you more forward there. And notice when I do that, just by bringing your hands more forward, it makes it feel like the club wants to go more to the inside. You feel that? Because if I go like this, if I push the hands back, the club wants to go outside.
Yeah.
So we need that club pointing more here, and then the pattern of the swing coming more inside to out slightly. So why don't you just try to hit one real quickly from that with the hands a little more forward like that for me. Good. And big changes, I mean, these things can be really big changes sometimes. It feels weird. I'm gonna drop this arm just slightly, there you go. Okay, good, hit one from there. Okay, good. All right, so let me do a quick explanation on, that's really the only address change I would make with you. But let me kind of step back here for a second. Let me kind of explain what I see in your swing that we're gonna really work on. Nice, you make a really nice address position. You take the club back, I really like your top position, but the spine tends to go this direction some on you.
Yeah.
When the spine goes this direction, the path of the club comes from the outside. So you're getting a little bit of this, good position here, a little bit over this way, and then you notice how sometimes you end up this way a little bit.
Yeah.
Where you kind of feel like you're falling this way. Foot comes up a little bit in that way. Watch this motion I make, and this is what we're gonna spend some time on. On the top of my swing, notice how I feel like I'm staying back this way.
Yeah.
So you're gonna feel more here and not that way, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm working on your spine position from here to impact, and it's gonna feel like you can hit the ball out to the right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try to feel that on a couple. Can I give you the feeling for it real fast? I just want you to feel it, okay? So I'm gonna take you to the top. Really nice here. Okay, feel what I do here. Flex your knee just a little bit towards me. There you go. Okay, hold there, just hold there for a second. And a lot of times I like people to hold the position because I want them to kind of learn where they're trying to go. Now, does that feel like you've swung this direction more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So let's do a couple practice swings. Rehearse that for me. Swinging towards me. Keep that foot down a little longer, that right heel down a little longer. Keep that, there you go. There you go. Yeah, okay, got it? All right, let's hit a couple like that. Don't swing hard, just try to feel that motion. Okay, try to keep that foot down a little bit. And swing easy enough just to feel that foot down and the club path going a little more out. There you go, that's what I want. Swing a little easier on this one, just to feel it. We'll add speed here when we get it. Foot down longer. This time keep the foot on the ground the entire time. Don't let it lift, okay? There you go. There you go. There you go. Okay. All right, so we've made 2 changes. I just want to kind of, here's the thing that's tough about instruction is that you want to make one change. You want to find the most important thing to change, and that's the work, right? For this particular lesson, I'm going to give you one more thing, just so people can see the stuff that we're going to need to work on because we're going to keep working on this for the next couple weeks. So let me just go through it real quick, because this is what we're going to spend our time on the next couple weeks. One thing at a time, though, right? Okay. So first thing is getting the hand slightly more forward so the club path goes a little more here. Okay. Now we got to keep the spine from doing this because that gets the foot up. So we're going to stay more in this position here. Okay. So we're more behind it. Okay. So we'll work on that. The next thing is, and this is probably, it's related. We're going to try to get you to stop the arm here as opposed to get all this rotation here. Here's what it's going to feel like. Watch me do this. Okay. It's going to feel like this. I know, right? It's going to feel like this because the body has to have a braking system so the arms can go down their path. If you continue the shoulder moving, this shoulder, it allows the path to go this way too much. So watch this right here, watch this. Okay, watch me do it this direction. Okay, see if you can feel that a couple times, practice. Yes, good. Keep doing that. Yes, again. Great. I'm going to do something right back here. Keep doing that. Okay, good. Okay, stay there. Go right through the ball again. Okay. Yep, here. Okay, so see, I've stopped that shoulder and this arm just folded up. Feel like that's your end of your swing, okay? Yes. There you go. Yep, great swing. Good job. Yes, good swing. All right, now let me show you one thing. Put the club back down real quick. So so a lot of those shots you were hitting, we saw a little fade in those, right? Okay. So watch what happens now if we get you doing exactly what you just did. The club comes down, and when this arm folds, it releases the face. Because a lot of those fades are coming from the face hanging open versus, okay? So do a couple more practice swings and we'll grab a couple tees. All right, everything's the same. Scoot your body this way, your ball's too far forward. There you go. There you go. See the pattern of that? Yeah. Face release, the ball has a different shape to it. That's great. Okay, okay, what'd you feel? A little bit of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Nice release. You know what I mean by release with the arm and the shoulder? Okay. There you go. Beautiful. Yes. Good swing there. So a lot of good in that swing right there. So what's happening, just to give you kind of a reference here, what's happening is the foot's staying down longer. It's allowing the body not to get in front. The club's coming more from an inside path, and then with this arm, it releases the face. It's a lot, right? Yeah. Give me a little more at address, the right shoulder down a little bit at the address position. There you go. That's nice. Yep, that was it. That was it right there, okay? That's the best swing of the day right there. Nice. So one of the things when you practice, because obviously I'll see you probably in a week or so after you've worked on this, always put something down to reference your pattern. So if you have this with you, use this. If not, use a club or a stick. Put it right in between your feet and the ball, and then make sure that your ball flight pattern is starting on this side of it, not over here, okay? That'll give you some ball flight indications of whether your path is good. But I would really pay a lot of attention to that. I think in the next year, to make you even better, is to get your ball flight to stop starting over here and getting consistently over here. So hit a couple more like that with that right foot down longer. It's okay. So one of the reasons that the club is doing that is because when this leg straightens, the club moves left. So again, try to feel the club moving this way just a little bit, okay? Like towards me again. Okay. Swing easy now. There you go. So another thing that's causing a problem in her over the top or watching the pattern start left and then it fades, and the foot lifting up because it's all cause and effect, is she's got a lot of forward spine drop. You'll see in the video that as she gets through the ball, the forward bend of her body increases dramatically. Ideally, that spine will stay on its plane up and down as much as possible. But I'm gonna show you how I can quickly get her to feel this. You know, you gotta be careful when you do this, so I'm gonna have her swing really easy, okay, Natalie? And I'm just gonna keep your head back a little bit. Now she can move her head down, but see how if I keep her spine on that axis, the club comes from the inside. So that spine drop is what's causing a lot of it. And I'm just putting a little pressure on there so she can't go down. A couple more times like that. You want to hit one like that? Yeah. Swing easy though, okay? All right, super easy. Yeah. You're not used to getting to the ball. And let me talk about that for just a second, because this is the trouble with instruction, is that change right there, I've changed her spacing, because now that she's going down with the spine, she can get to the ball. I'm keeping her further from the golf ball, so she has to change her ability to get the hands into impact. This is where these are big changes, but swing easy again so we can feel this, where I'm keeping your spine back. So that's what it's going to take right there, is her ability to change her spacing through the ball. This is what golf swing change is all about. This is why sometimes you don't hit it great when you're making changes, right, Natalie?
Yeah.
All right, on this next one, little knee flex on that lead knee, okay? Nice and easy. Good try. There you go. Good job. So right. Natalie, I mean, you're 13 years old, right? This is a lot of work.
Yeah.
I don't like to get super technical. I like to give you feelings of what you need to work on, and then we'll keep an eye on it. So what did that feel like to you? You changed the address. How'd that feel?
Honestly, it felt pretty good, because just the way my swing had been, it felt like more work than these did. Okay. I could tell immediately that it looked better even. Yeah. I did really like it though. I think.
How about the foot down? Like a lot of, one of the things about the foot, and I'll explain that, the foot stays down because it's controlling the spine, so the lower back, right? And if you're lifting the foot, it means the back can do a lot of stuff like this. That's a hard one though, right? Because you're like fighting the foot a little bit. Yeah. That's going to probably take the most work. So what did that feel like to you?
It was tough. It was like, oh, you got to remember to keep that down. But Yeah.
It'll be tough. That'll
Yeah.
be a tough one because the foot goes with the knee. Because the foot down, the knee flex are what stabilize the spine. So that'll take pressure off your back, though. It'll help your back
Yeah.
a little bit. Okay. And then the finish thing, which to me is a big deal. And we might not be able to work on that quite yet, but that's the release. How do
Yeah.
you feel about that?
I feel good about it. It's hard for me to think, oh, stop, like, stop
Right.
here.
Right.
And to make sure, because some of those I didn't always do it, but to make sure that I do release.
The ones you did, you saw the pattern of the ball went this way, yeah, which is nice. So that's going to be a good deal. So here's kind of the final thing that I would say to you, and I want to work with you a week from now too, and we'll do another video on it. Work on things one thing at a time. So I would pick the most important things. The dress thing you can probably figure out just easy, right? So what would be the first thing you would work on in this whole process?
I don't know, probably making sure my foot
The foot
stays
down, and the knee, and then lead knee
and
flex.
then the lead
Okay.
knee being flexed.
Okay,
yeah.
good. So there's your first thing. So next time I see you, that's really all I want you to spend your time on. And then you can play around with the release thing, and we'll check that out next time. But you got a great swing, and it's going to be fun to keep progressing, and we're going to get you into the best player in the state. Good. Thanks, Natalie. I will see you in a week, and I'll see you again on this channel. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again on my YouTube channel.